You wrote an op-ed piece in Variety in 2017 about diversity, and I want to just ask, why did you feel compelled to write that piece? And explain what it was about.
Well, Claudia asked me to write it,
Okay.
first of all, and she proposed that to me, that I write something, and I was like, nah, can't do that, don't have time, and I'm not a writer. And then I thought about it, and it was like, you know, sometimes this is one of the things that I now tell people all the time, but sometimes I have to tell myself. It's really important, and like I didn't want to do this interview, quite frankly, because I didn't really think I had anything to really add. You know, you just kind of live your life, right? You get up every day and you brush your teeth and you put on your clothes and you go out and do whatever you do, and it doesn't feel particularly special. So I think the reason I ended up ultimately doing it was because I thought, if I don't do it, who will do it? And at that point, I ended up being profiled in the New York Times, which I have to tell you, I could die now. Like, my life is just satisfied completely, because, you know, I grew up reading the New York Times. You know, it was everything. I used to read the New York Times to my mom when she was doing laundry and stuff, because she couldn't read and do laundry. So I used to sit at the end of the ironing board when she was ironing clothes, and I would read articles from the New York Times to her, because she loved to. And not because she was trying to teach me to read or anything, she just wanted to read the newspaper and couldn't use her hands to do it. So I would read out loud to her. My sister and I would take turns, and we would have read the entire newspaper.
That was a big deal. Bigger than the Essence Award? Bigger than New York Times was bigger?
Well, it was just so, it was part of my childhood. And I thought my mom, who wasn't, you know, unfortunately wasn't in a position to appreciate it, I just thought how proud she would be. I don't know that Essence would have made as much of an impact to her, but me being in the New York Times.
You made it, girl.
Oh, she would be like, you know, she used to say that all the time, all the news is fit to print. I mean, she just like, she would talk, she read a lot, and she would always talk about the things she read, and often she read newspapers, and she would talk about.
So you're already out there, I
So
guess,
I'm out
because
there
of the article, right?
because of the article, and so Claudia asked me to write something, and I wrote her a long note about what I thought I would write about. And I guess the note was kind of scattered or not what she was looking for. So a couple of days before the deadline, I call her up and I said, okay, I've written it. And she said, oh, I didn't think you were going to write anything. I said, all right. I said, you know what, I'll send it to you. You don't want to print it, don't print it. And if you do want to print it, you can print it. And she called me back like 5 minutes later, and she was like, oh my God, I'm printing this. And we made a few tucks and, you know, for spacing and stuff, but it was basically. So I did it against, you know, because I didn't really want to, but then I felt like, you know, I had to.
What was the gist of what you wanted to say?
I wanted to say that even for someone like me, who you might see as being high achieving, that these issues impacted my life every day. And that we had to accept our responsibility. I mean, I would hate, what I would hate for the entertainment industry, television, film, whatever, I would hate for us to have to be legislated to make these changes happen. I would hate for us to have to be the result of lawsuits or government pressure, not in this administration, obviously, but perhaps in another. I would hate that to be the way it all went down. I would like to say that, I'd like to think that we are better people than that.